Hey everyone, welcome to Inside Indiana Overtime. Alex McCarthy, Seth Tao. We're here in Forest Quad here on IU's campus. We watched Indiana knock off Kansas 103-99 in overtime tonight. We watched it on campus, and it was a long one. I mean, it is 1 a.m. as we're filming this. 63 fouls in the game, plus being in overtime.
So it looked like they were playing on an ice skating rink.
Yeah, I mean, just really sloppy. But Indiana comes out on top. Thanks to a huge second half from James Blackman. He made a bunch of... He and Frank Mason, the third from Kansas, were just going back and forth in the last few minutes of the game. Blackman ends up with 26, Mason with 30. But then in overtime, a couple Indiana freshmen made huge plays. Curtis Jones especially was huge.
Curtis Jones... I was very high on Curtis Jones coming into the season, but I did not expect him to carve out a role for himself this early. He played really well in the minutes he had tonight.
He had 15 points in 16 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he had that in overtime. He had that step back jump three, which didn't put the game officially away, but that put Indiana comfortably ahead by more than one possession.
Yeah, it provided a little bit of a cushion, and then Deron Davis, another freshman,
it was just
drew
such
a foul.
Momentum. It was just such a momentum swing.
Yeah, it was big. Davis drew a foul, made both shots. Jones got fouled again, made both shots, and then Indiana got a steal late and fed Jones for a breakaway dunk to seal the game. Obviously, a very different tone to Indiana's trip to Hawaii this year as opposed to last year, and there were just an overwhelmingly positive response to this team on Twitter. I mean, which is odd because Indiana really didn't even play that. I mean, it was so sloppy. I mean, they didn't capitalize at all from the free throw line. They shot better late in the game, but they had a chance to kind of pull away in regulation.
If they made their free throws in the first half, it wouldn't have gone to overtime.
Right, and then Rob Johnson missed a couple free throws late in the game that also obviously could have made a difference. And then another concern was turnovers. There were a bunch in the first half. They ended up with 18, and Kansas scored 31 points off Indiana turnovers. So the turnovers that they made, a lot of them were live ball turnovers that led to Kansas buckets going the other way. But at the end of the day, Indiana made the plays it needed to make near the end of the game. Three pretty prominent IU players fouled out with Thomas Bryant, Robert Johnson, and Juwan Morgan. But Bryant played really well, I thought, tonight.
Bryant, yeah. I mean, especially in the first half when Indiana was kind of all over the place. I mean, so was Kansas a little bit, but Bryant really carried Indiana in the first half. And this bit, James Blackman struggled in the first half. Ojianobi didn't get much going really all game.
Yeah, he didn't do anything in the second half. He took one shot after halftime, I think.
Yeah.
Two shots.
Especially Thomas Bryant finished with a double-double, 19 points and 10 rebounds. He really carried the team in the first half and avoided foul trouble until late in the game.
Yeah.
And that was big for Indiana.
Yeah, he did a really good job. He played a lot of the first half with 2 fouls.
And that's something we saw him get into foul trouble earlier in games last year.
That's true. That was a problem for him a little bit. And it took him until January or February to have a game where he had double-digit rebounds last year. So that's also a really good sign. Tom Crean has been saying that he wants more from Bryant in a rebounding sense, and he certainly gave that tonight. But yeah, I mean, it was just Indiana kind of pulled it out there at the end. Juwan Morgan also he had 10 rebounds, team high or tied for the team high with 4 assists. Josh Newkirk, kind of a hit and miss night. 7 points, 4 assists in his IU debut. He was okay. There were a couple plays where maybe there were kind of ill-advised shots, and there were a lot of offensive possessions that Indiana had where really just nothing happened for a long time. I think there's someone on Twitter who was saying that Tom Crean needs to trademark the offensive possession of 20 seconds of nothing and 1 second of brilliance, just because that's what a lot of it was. I mean, Indiana lived and died behind the three-point line tonight. They shot 31 threes, made almost half of them, so that helps when you make them. But Indiana didn't attempt a 2-pointer for the first more than 6 minutes in the game.
Yeah. I mean, what has to be most encouraging for Indiana fans is that they didn't play close to their best tonight, and they still were able to eke out a tough win over the number 3 team in the country.
Yeah, and even though Anunoby didn't really he had 13 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, that's a pretty solid line. But he also defensively was really good. Josh Jackson, Kansas's highly touted freshman, he had 9 points, but he
just went 3 of 11.
Yeah, I mean, he was very inefficient and just did not look maybe as polished as a lot of people expected him to look. So Indiana did a good job containing him.
Now they have their big non-conference win.
Yeah.
Which they did not have last year.
Yeah, exactly. They already have a better signature win before Big Ten play now than they had last year. So certainly an encouraging start to the season for Indiana. They stayed healthy, which, you know, with a court that was as slippery as that. And
Thomas Bryant cramp.
Yeah. But yeah, they were kind of lucky to get out of Honolulu with a healthy roster. So they're back here in Bloomington next Wednesday against UMass Lowell. We'll be there for that one. But until then, we're going to get some sleep because there's a football game in 11 hours. So thanks for watching. For Seth Tao, I'm Alex McCarthy, and you'll be seeing us soon.